the company's name is Revathi Equipments. It is headed by Abhishek Dalmia. And those of you who don't know about Abhishek Dalmia, he's a stalwart investor who was also part of Masterclass with Super Investors. So he had a whole chapter dedicated to him and how he invests in small cap companies, turnaround stories, and all such things. So basically about Revathi. Revathi is primarily a drilling equipment companies, which supplies its equipments to companies like Coal India and Tata Steel. So as you can see, it is a very cyclical types of company because its end users are also primarily cyclical companies like Coal India. And it has two parts. First is Revathi Equipments, it's a drilling equipment part, and secondly, it's CIMAC Consultants Limited. So what it does is, it is primarily involved in architectural design and other related services. So primarily your project management consultancy and all such things CIMAC provides. So as you can see, these are the two primary segments. So these are completely unrelated segments. Drilling equipment is more capital intensive versus CIMAC, which is a more manpower intensive business. Yeah. So as I've told you in the past as well, its last 2 year record has been terrible. Last 2 decade record has been very terrible. So firstly, there was a promoter change in around 2010, wherein Abhishek Dalmia took control of this company. So everyone thought that fortunes will change because he's a very good investor. And during that time, there was a capex boom during 2008 period. But suddenly after the crash, everything fell out of place. So its drilling equipment industry or its segment was worst hit because of this thing. And primarily, one funny thing about this business was, just like Warren Buffett, this business is roughly 40% of total business income was coming from investments. And these investments were mainly in real estate and all such things, which after 2008 fell. So secondly, yeah, lost decade. It has done nothing in the past 10 years except cleaning its balance sheet and figuring out things how to do it well. So if you will go to Screener website, you will see कि जो इसका FY10 में सेल्स फिगर था वो अब जाके FY22 में आया है. So as you can see 12 years में सेल्स खाली वापस वो पीक तक पहुंचने में उनको 12 years लग गए. एंड अभी करेंटली डेट फ्री है तो दैट इज अ गुड थिंग. बट अगेन आई वुड कॉल दिस अ वेरी गुड कैपिटल एलोकेशन स्ट्रेटजी. And thirdly, potential CMAC. So as I talked about CMAC Consultants, this was a company that was acquired by Abhishek Dalmia around 2010 time only. So his idea was कि consultancy में आगे काफी growth आने वाला है because real estate is booming. So but he tried to do a smart thing. कि drilling equipment business he will sell to someone, a potential buyer who is giving him a fair price, and from that money he will buy potential CMAC. But post 2010 or post 2008 itself, the drilling equipment sector went into a major downturn. So the potential buyer immediately revoked his offer. So funny thing was he had already given an offer for potential CMAC. So he bought this potential CMAC company, which he thought he will buy from the money that he gains from sale of Revathi equipments. But the sale didn't happen and potential CMAC was ultimately acquired. So he had to take major debt to acquire this company, which led to a major burden on its balance sheet. So you will be surprised to know that it took him close to 10 years to just clean up that debt part. And potential CMAC turned its first profit in the last year. Or rather, it only turned meager profits in FY16 and 17. But in past 10 years, it had only 2 years of profitable years. So that so if when so firstly he thought कि demand बहुत आ रही है आगे business में. So what he thought कि instead of making products after getting orders, we should focus the demand and make products immediately so that we can boost our top line. So he tried doing that, but the demand didn't came. So he had to take major losses in inventory. So due to that thing, 1 year was very bad. Then as I said, CPAC performed very poorly. So why did this business perform poorly? And what were the reasons behind it? So as I said, CMAC is primarily a manpower intensive business. So but the thing was the person who sold this company to Revathi Equipments, he immediately post sale started his own competing company despite having a non-competing clause. And Abhishek Dalmia, based on his uh, lawyers, decided that we can't file a complaint against this company. So because of that, they had to compete with the company, or rather the principals who have sold the company to Revathi Equipments. And since this was a manpower intensive business, so it doesn't care how well it was performing in the past 10 years. It is the principal or the people who are running that business that is key in this business. And since all the major people left this business suffered badly. So about CMAC, you will be surprised to know that in the past 10 years, CMAC has more than 3 CEOs. And each CEO left the company before 2 years itself. And currently, Abhishek Dalmat took helms of this business. But one will realize that if in a manpower intensive business, the principal itself or the CEO itself is leaving the company in every 2 years, so how will this business succeed? So because of that, Revathi had, or rather, CMAC had very poor results for the past decade. Thirdly, investments in Mumbai real estate. So as I talked about, during FY10, he had made several investments in real estate projects. So he thought कि आगे मुंबई में स्पेशली डिमांड काफी आने वाली है. So because of that, he invested in one project wherein he invested close to 20 to 25 crores. And even now, he is unable to get back his investment back. So he has tried several times to exit his stake, which is currently worth around 17 crores. But despite his several efforts, he has been unable to sell that stake. And he doesn't want to do a stress sale, wherein he will sell the uh, real estate property at a very low price. So he's waiting for